My name is Coach Backlefield and I'm working with Pretoria Athletic Football Club as the head coach. And it's so delightful to have South African School of Soccer to be working with us or coming to visit us. I'm hoping that we get positive results out of that. What we have here is a group of boys that we train. We've been working with them for the season since 2019, before the beginning of the season of 2019. And now we are going into the last part of the season, our season ends around May, June. And with us here is a group of very good youngsters that not only footballers, most of them are in college, some are still in high school. But what we have done is that we have started a project that allows players to start football and at the same time do their schoolwork, and so that we can only not have a footballer, but we can also have a responsible young man who can be productive in South Africa and beyond. So what we are looking at is we're looking forward to a very good partnership working with these guys, South African School of Soccer, in maybe trying to help bring up better footballers, holistically bring them into football, support their education as well. And as you can see, they are not just young kids. Some of them are mature guys that are looking forward to having a prosperous football career and other careers within the units that they are attending. And currently we are speaking of, there's one boy that we had who was part of the group who's now in Spain, in Malaga, who went there for a trial and did quite well, and now has been recommended for a better team, and we are hopefully going to get news that he has moved into into a better league, far from the one that he's playing in currently. But all the same, he has a very good squad that we've got, and these guys are working very hard. You know, when you're working with a group of young men like this, there are so many things that you need to bring in together. They're coming from different backgrounds, they're coming from different homesteads, and what you need to do is to really look at the team dynamics, bring everyone together and make sure that they become a team by trying to understand what each player's needs are, then bring that into a team. I'm sure we're on the right path, and getting these partnerships and people like the South African School of Soccer will help us a lot in terms of trying to drive the project through. Thank you.
Myself, I'm Lucky Sibukwana, the coach of South African Schools of Soccer. I'd love to thank Pretoria Athletic Football Club with a warm welcome of our visit. We as a club of South African Schools of Soccer, we really appreciate of what Pretoria Athletic Football Club they're doing. We're looking forward to start up a very wonderful partnership with them, with a wonderful structure that we have seen within around. We think we've got a very good relationship ahead of us with what they're doing. So again, I would love to appreciate them and then motivate that we'll want to work with them more and more, share ideas as coaches and as a structure, as a football club, and then with what we would love to be actually establishing as South African Schools of Soccer. It's within what they measure in line. Thank you.
Myself, I'm Vusi Kachwayo, the vice captain of the team. As you can see, these are my teammates behind me. These are the members of Pretoria Athletics. And I must say it's really nice to have the kind of management that we have. They are very supportive. As you can see, the structure, like the place where we're staying, it's not always that you see an SAB team with a place like this. There's a TV room, we've got the training facilities, we've got the staff. They are very supportive. The guys that are not financially stable, they manage to get food and everything. So I have to say that being part of this team is very important for us. And we're not only doing this for the team, but we're also doing it for ourselves, because we also want to see ourselves somewhere as players, youngsters. As one of our players already went abroad, went to Spain, and that's just about it. Yeah.
Good evening. My name is Peter Chiveso. I'm the chairman and director of Pretoria Athletic Football Club. We were established in 2014. We operate in the Pretoria LFA. Our first team plays in the SAB League, Tshwane Region A. We have a total of 9 teams in the club, from under 9 right through to the SAB team.
Could you tell us about the vision of your club?
The vision of the club is obviously has to do with our motto, which is identify, develop and release. So we are a development club. We are mostly interested in producing players for the local market and for overseas market. And our immediate ambition is to have our first team playing in the ABC Motsepe League, which is a division above where we are currently. We already have a success story in our development structure, having exported a player, Bradley Boysens, to Spain. He currently plays in the 5th division with CD Almuneka.
What other programs do you run within the structure of a football club?
Okay, our main focus is football. We do nothing else other than football. We have a clubhouse that we manage. We have 25 players, 20 of them being our first team players that reside in the clubhouse. We are busy looking for funding to improve the facility, and that's what we do. We are football. We don't run any other programs other than football.
Okay, thank you, Coach. Could you simply explain your personal view of the future of the club?
Personal view is I'm very I cannot believe the success we've had over such a short space of time. I think the future is very bright, considering that we already have some international technical cooperations with the Spanish Academy Malaga City. We have those coaches visiting us in the next couple of weeks to come and share knowledge with us and technical knowledge, and to open pathways for our players to move into Europe. So the future is really good.
Okay, thank you. Can you explain to us the structure of this facility? How it's been set up, what needs to be done, what kind of help do you need?
Okay. So we have a wonderful, I think we are one of the few privileged clubs to have a facility of this magnitude. We have facilities sitting on 2.5 hectares of land. We have about 144 rooms in the accommodation section. We have a massive conference hall. We have a massive kitchen, commercial kitchen. And this place is really geared towards becoming a high performance center in the heart of Southern Africa. Our idea is that this place becomes a sanctuary for young footballers that want to come and play their trade. The biggest need that we have is obviously improving the training facility. In terms of the playing fields, we'd like to improve our own pitch where we train. We obviously want to have a study center for the players where we can put in computers for them to do the assignments. Most of our players, in fact all of our players, are either in high school or in tertiary, so they are all students and studying. We can obviously improve the actual kitchen itself so that we can be able to cater for all our players. We have a plan also to use our massive conference room for events, you know, so we want to renovate that and have it also as an indoor training facility. We'd also have a space we have earmarked for a gym, and we're obviously looking for equipment so that we can have an in-house gym for the players.
Can you just briefly explain to us what drives you to start up this team, how the team came about, you understand?
Yes.
What motivates you, what keeps you going?
Okay, the story of my journey in football is actually quite funny. I actually never quite played the game myself at any meaningful level, but I've always been a student of the game, loved watching and always been an avid follower of the game. But my son got me involved, and because he wanted to be a player, and so I started looking around for programs that could help him and help his development. And I came across a program, Brazilian Soccer Schools, that I attended with him, and it proved to be the turning point for his football and for my involvement in the game. And at that point, the program was only in Joburg, and I negotiated to bring the program to Pretoria and started doing this not only for my son but for the other boys in the city. And obviously the program is limited to up to the age of 15, from the age of 4 to 15, and then we thought about what happens then after the age of 15, if the player wants to continue and they haven't made it into the formal structures that have been laid out. So we started the club in 2014 just as an extra pathway for the boys to continue their development, enjoy their football with no pressure, and this is where it's gotten us to this point.
What do you think about the South African schools of soccer visit to your club?
Well, it's always heartwarming when you have the football family coming together. I think we serve the game in all our different ways, and I think it's well appreciated that other programs can come and join hands and come and see what we're doing, share knowledge, share information, network. And I think if we do this in football, the greater development of the game will be better served.
Okay. Do you see any future partnering with South African school of soccer?
For sure, we definitely always looking for pathways for players. From what I understand, with your network in France and Europe, we're always looking for ways for our players to develop through, and we certainly see ways and synergies that we can work together.
Okay. In terms of coaching and the coaching department, are you guys open to South African soccer school to share knowledge, or do you want the relationship to go beyond that?
Okay, so obviously this is our first visit we've had with South African School of Soccer. We hope that with subsequent visits we can sit down and really open up and see the actual ways we can network, and from a technical point of view, from player movement, from funding perspective, there's just so much to discuss, and we can't wait for the next meeting that we will have with the South African Schools of Soccer. All right, I'd like to say a big thank you to YTV for coming to our establishment and giving us some airtime. Thank you so much. You do a great job, and we hope to see you again soon.